My name is and I'm the founder of NiviCap. It's a very deeply personal moment for me to see NiviCap come to life. And that's because I've been a student myself 2.5 decades ago. So I started my journey as an international student, going through the same anxiety, the same steps what an Indian students from embarks on today. Now, one of the key challenges that Indian students face is something that I very deeply and intimately know. And therefore, as you can see, I've been there, I've done that. Unfortunately, some of those challenges still exist and persist when it comes to not just the education, but the journey of pre-admission in India, and then the post-admission once they sort of settle down in a new country. The other sort of reason behind NiviCap coming to life is my banking experience. So I could combine my student life and my experience in Australia, put that with the relevant banking experience, and not just in Australia, but also India. So that gave me the enriched experience working with both the regulators in the industry, which gives a very unique point of view to the banking as well as the problems and the challenges that is faced by a student and their family. And that's precisely why NiviCap was born. The other main sort of focus, drawing on from my experience as a student and as well as a banker on the both ends, is what we set up around setting a bridge between the two countries. Given that Australia and India share excellent ties when it comes to education as a sector, it's a preferred destination for a lot of Indian students, and the numbers are sort of increasing year on year. And therefore, it made sense for me to sort of put together and look at those problems areas that a student faces, and have a solution for that. So, what does an actual student from India sort of faces in terms of a challenge? One is obviously the loan or the education. So whenever an Indian student sort of embarks or dreams of studying in Australia or overseas, the first and foremost thing that a student as well as their family come across is getting an education loan to fund the education. In India, in a landscape like India where parents play a very critical role, they are usually the ones who put their hand in their pocket to fund a child's education, a child's future. And therefore, our focus was very clear. It's not just about the student, it's as much as it is for the parents, because they are the ones who finally put their hand out to support their child's future. The other main aspect is that there are so many options available in India when it comes to either a loan or forex or any other financial product that a child or a family sort of seeks. Because often that leads to a lack of clarity, because there are so many options, you don't know which one's available, which one's the right one, the right product for them to sort of embark on. And these are all life-changing decisions for a family, because some of those in India, when they sort of put up their property as collateral or security, it's a life-changing situation for the entire family, not just for the student, but for the other siblings that the student might have. So therefore, those are the top three sort of areas that we looked at, and I personally brought my own experience to this and said, how can we have a product or a company that sort of caters to these sort of aspects of a student's journey? So when we started off, our vision was very clear. We're not here to solve either a banking or a financial sort of problem. We're here to solve an anxiety of a parent. That was our starting sort of point. And then we said, how can we build on this? Looking at the many different areas where we could help our child. The main focus from a NiviCap perspective was very clear. How can we have one sort of single platform, not just for the student, but also for a parent? And that's exactly what we've done. It's a one-stop shop, a single platform accessible through an app to both a student as well as their parent. And the products that we've got in there, which we will sort of progressively sort of roll out in the coming months, would be starting off with education loans. It's only for Australia, so Australia as a destination is what we focused on. Then we would start looking at forex, and then other non-banking products, which is required for a student from a post-admission perspective. And I'm not sure how many of you saw the little roll-up banner which said, the leg side as well as offside is more of a reference from cricket. We cover on both sides. Now what it means is precisely, we not just look at India and students in India looking at solving their problems here, but also look at how we can solve the problems settling down in Australia. Any child sort of walks the path has got anxiety, and so does the parent. And that is a gap that we sort of wanting to sort of fill out. The relationship as of today, as I mentioned earlier, there are more and more students coming to Australia to study, and the number is set to just increase. And we want to sort of play a very crucial part in bridging that as part of the ECTA and support the education sector. And that's because we not just know the Indian landscape very well, but we also know the Australian landscape very intimately. And that is why it becomes a lot easier for us to offer our product, not just in India through the NiviCap app, but also in Australia through the 6O app, where we're already doing QR code payments, domestic payments, very similar to what an Indian student or Indian parent is already familiar with. And therefore, a combined ecosystem is what we will be providing gradually in the next 12 months. Every quarter, a student will receive a new product through the app itself. And one of the main focus is our values, our mission is more around how can we be a companion to both a child as well as the parents. It's more of a non sort of financial transactional sort of product, and that's purely because we've been through the path. We know exactly what it takes, and we know exactly what the problems these students would face and will face, and we want to make sure that we are there for them.
Well, I'm delighted to be the ambassador with the great relations between Australia and India. Every time we as Australians come to India, we're treated with such respect and great humility and love and care. And when you come as an Australian who also is involved in cricket, you feel like a rock star because we all love the game so much. So also as a parent, as a coach, as a past player, understanding the opportunity to follow your dreams and to have support to follow your dreams, and to have family and to have friends and have mentors and coaches who have allowed me to follow my dreams. That's why I'm involved with NiviCapital, and I'm thrilled to be a part of that.
It is my absolute pleasure to be here today to celebrate this truly meaningful initiative from the Australia-India Technology and Education Partnership. For decades, education has been at the heart of the relationship between our two nations. Each year, thousands of Indian students choose Australia, not just for our world-class universities, but for the innovative environment that helps them both personally and professionally. Nearly 140,000 students in Australia came from India. That makes India our second largest country for source country for international students. And this year, Australia became the #1 ranked study destination for Indian students for the first time. And we value the immense contribution of Indian students to our campuses, our communities, and our innovation landscape, and strengthening the economic and cultural links between our countries. At Austrade, we are proud to support initiatives that make this journey smoother, and that is what today's announcement represents. Bringing together education and financial technology, bringing together Australia's innovation and India's deep tech expertise, and doing this in a way that supports Indian students as they embark on the life-enriching experience of studying in Australia. This launch is an excellent example of the immense complementarity in our technology relationship, as two countries that share a deep respect for innovation, entrepreneurship, and education. A warm congratulations to Kartik and his team at NiviCap for bringing this vision to life, and to their trusted partners for their collaboration in making this possible. And of course, a special acknowledgement to Mr. Justin Langer, another symbol of Australia and India's close ties both on and off the field. Thank you all, and congratulations once again to everyone involved in this momentous occasion.